Dragon Ball, horror, kaiju, and more. Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hey there, collectors. It's going to be Steven here with another kaiju, sort of, review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Y-MSF Cthulhu. That's kind of sort of the common pronunciation, so that's what I'm going to be going with. And his little waifu, too? What? We'll kind of sort of not really be talking about that. So Y-MSF has finally dropped the Cthulhu sculpt that has been teased for several months now. And right now, we're actually at the third colorway. We'll talk about that in a second. Cthulhu was massively popular, and the first colorway pretty much sold out, and the aftermarket prices are insane. 25 to 30,000 yen on Yahoo Japan auctions. Oh boy, how are you going to be able to get this? Should you make the purchase? And, well, is it of any value at all? Well, let's take a look to see whether or not this one is going to be worth adding into your collection. Real quick, let's go ahead and talk about how you buy Y-MSF figures and how you can go ahead and get the Cthulhu variants that exist today. If you're interested in picking up Y-MSF stuff, obviously there's going to be some of the older stuff that may still be leftover stock that are going to be available from certain US retailers. You can go ahead and you can plop that into Google, whether it would be the Gargantuas, Gorosaurus, and so forth. You know, you're going to be able to look that up. Now, some of the newer releases, you're going to have to follow Y-MSF directly. He'll be linked. I say he because everyone in the community kind of jokingly refers to him as Mr. Y-MSF. He'll be linked directly in the description of this video. You can DM him directly on Twitter or Instagram, and he'll be able to connect you for whatever items are currently for sale. He just listed a Gabara the other day. I think it was 6,000 yen. Shipping is basically going to be one flat rate, to my understanding, so if you buy multiple items, it's best to do it that way. And that's how this Cthulhu was sold. Now, when this Cthulhu was sold, it was sort of like a surprise drop. He was teasing it for some time, and then he did 10 units, and then he did a little bit after that, and then, well, it sold out. 15,000 yen, and I want to say it was about 6,000 yen shipping. So that's a little bit expensive, but ultimately when you factor everything into consideration with the current exchange rate, it was about 145 bucks, which isn't too bad, all things considered. Now, aftermarket, we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's talk about the sculpt and the paints, which you've already been seeing the 360 spin view and some up close and personal pictures. This particular colorway is going to be straightforward. The variant is rather nice. It's going to be green with some nice black grungy wash on it that really enhances some of the details. You can definitely see all the tentacly bits that go along with Cthulhu. The wings are rather small. I think they should be a bit bigger, but nevertheless, it works out well enough here. All of the spikes on Cthulhu are actually going to be sharp, so do keep that in mind. This is going to be a point that I would like to bring up as well. Make sure you're going to be gentle with those, because I feel like if this just so happens to brush up against something, they may snap or crack. So you don't want to do that. Don't damage your rather expensive vinyl piece. And this is a harder vinyl, not more so rigid akin to, let's say, Megalon that came out many years ago, but it's going to be rather hard and sturdy, which is good to see. The sculpt is fantastic. The paint application is rather good. Overall, in terms of how this figure looks, it is really nice. Now let's go ahead and talk about the articulation for a second, which is going to be rather basic, but it does have one critical flaw to it. With this being a vinyl figure, we're not expecting this to be SH Monster Arts level, but let's talk. The wings, they don't move at all, and the arms are going to be on a swivel at the shoulder. Normally, you would think that we would have a full 360-degree spin like traditional vinyl figures. However, because of the sculpt, we're not. The arms are not going to be able to swing back all the way because they will collide into the wings, so don't do this. Now, in terms of raising the arms up, if you push, we probably could be able to swing the arms all the way back so this way they touch the wings as well. However, because of the sculpt, all of the tendril-y, slithery bits on the shoulders, it is going to cause a grind and it may damage the figure. Don't do that. Don't push stuff. Don't break it. Don't ham-hand it, okay? Good. The waist, there is going to be a swivel, however, it is more so closer to an oval than it is actually going to be to a circle. You're going to have to put some effort into it and really put all that ass behind it, so this way you can spin Cthulhu 360 all the way around. Why you would do that, don't know, but if you wanted to, you can. Cthulhu does have a tail, and that does spin 360 as well on a swivel. Don't know why you want to do that, and actually, It's pretty much useless. Why? I'm going to do a zoom in at the end so this way you can kind of see what I'm talking about, but Cthulhu's feet actually aren't entirely flat on the ground. The tail is more so a kickstand. So if the tail is in any other position aside from down, Cthulhu is going to fall over. Remember when I said Cthulhu has those spiky bits, which I fear just may happen to snap? Yeah, you don't want that to happen, and the tail kickstand is going to be there to save you, so make sure if anyone is handling this, if they happen to come over to take a look at Cthulhu, well, they're going to know about that way in advance. For articulation, I mean, it's more so a byproduct than it is an actual feature, so it is what it is. Now, I said at the top, Cthulhu is going to come with his little waifu too. Gonna be honest with you here, I don't know the story behind this, but for the first production run, he's going to come with an acrylic support standee thing that is going to have a little cosplayer for Cthulhu or a little Cthulhu idol. I don't know. Cute, nevertheless, but pretty cool to have. Now, this brings in something else. I did make mention we're on our third colorway. Now, there is apparently a gold one that is in existence, and as well as one that is going to be green and purple. Those are limited to Japanese releases. Now, if you're looking to pick this one up or any of the other releases, you're going to have to troll around on Yahoo Japan auctions or Mercari Japan, whatever the case may be, or you can go with scalpers in the US. We've already talked about that. I would recommend using Zen Market because it's only going to be 300 yen per Yahoo Japan auction, and then they repack everything before they ship it on out to you. Now, with that being said, good luck paying less than 30,000 yen for any of the alternate color variations. Size comparison so you can see how big Cthulhu is with just, a grab bag of some other things you just might have. Overall, he's going to be closer to 8 to 10 inch mark. So yeah, definitely going to want to plan accordingly. Buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. I do have to say, I think Cthulhu is a little bit on the expensive side, even when you factor out shipping at 15,000 yen. So real quick, while I'm going to pull that up here, let's go ahead and just talk about pretty much everything else. The sculpt is fantastic, and I really do think that the paint application really does complement the figure overall. I do think that this is going to be rock solid in terms of a collectible, which at today's exchange rate, which is going to be September 21st, 2022, it's going to be about 103 bucks. Exchange rate's in the toilet right now for yen, but we'll talk about that in a different video. I do think that this is going to be worth it, and I do think that this is going to be rather unique, especially with that first run bonus, which I don't know if that's for the first colorway of Cthulhu or if it's just for the first production. What I will say, though, is that let's get some more options available. That would be pretty nice. There's already apparently a translucent red that was a gift for a few people, as well as an unpainted blank colorway as well. But I guess for official retail, this is going to be the first. If you're a fan of Cthulhu, I think this is a great figure to have, and I don't think you'll be disappointed if you manage to pick one up.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.